So go ahead.
Alright, I'll set this. Okay, no, I don't know that. Okay, everybody, look into this. Look into the screen.
Just look.
Doesn't do something. It's not doing anything. It's like, and then notice the flash on. Anyway.
So we went and saw Men in Black International, and we were late to go see it. We weren't late, but we
missed some probably good trailers. I'll bet.
Yeah, we went early just to get it out of the way. So I'm not gonna lie, I like the first Men in Black movie. Like, it's my favorite.
I like the first one. I honestly don't think I've watched the whole second one.
The second one is okay. It's not great. It's okay. And Men in Black 3, like, I like the message. I like the ending, but the execution was bad. I did like Josh Brolin as young K. You know, and that was kind of actually my first time seeing him. Even though I didn't realize he was in the Goonies.
I was like, wow.
I didn't realize he was in the Goonies, and I was like, oh, that's him? Holy moly. Wow, okay.
Easter egg for people who haven't seen Goonies. What the hell's his name? Yeah, played Samwise. I can't think of
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He plays Sam.
Sean Astin.
Yep, Sean Astin, yep.
He actually calls him Josh in that movie.
Yep. So we went and saw, you guys voted on the Facebook. You guys voted. Out of the choices, and well, we voted too. Out of the choices, Men in Black was probably the one that I was like neutral on. Like, I didn't go see it on opening weekend because I was like, it's one of those movies I would just go see like on TV or Netflix or whatever.
Or cheap theater.
Cheap theater. Just because like the first one was really good. Well, the first one came out like 1998, wasn't it?
You know what? I have a phone.
He has a phone. I think it was like, I want to say it was like 1990s. Like around 1996, 7 when the first one came out. So my overall thoughts for this one, we're just gonna make this
1997.
97. Okay, so we're just gonna make this a spoiler review. If you haven't seen Men in Black International by now, you're probably not gonna see it. So just spoiler warning right here if you guys haven't seen it. So the
first of all, I'm gonna give my score. I'm gonna give it about a 7.5. I went into it expecting it to be terrible, bad. I enjoyed it. It had funny parts.
It was like I call like the Hollywood movie. It was very cliche. It was very to the book.
I wish Hollywood would kind of go back to more practical effects, because there was a lot of CGI in this movie. Of course, some of the effects you can't really do practically, but at the same time, I wish a lot of creature effects, which you could have done just practical. But again, I'm not gonna knock the movie for that, because, like I said, you got all kinds of aliens, going on. You can't practically affect them all the time. So
right, and so for those wondering, there is a small cameo in this movie of J and K in the form of a painting. So
from the first movie.
From the first movie, this movie takes place mostly in London. And there's a scene where was it T, right?
High T.
Or High T or whatever, was having a conversation with the other agents, and, he's talking about how, there's been multiple times that the world's been saved, or whatever, like, actually
with
saved.
Their wits and S whatever.
Something,
7.
yeah. So, essentially, Chris Hemsworth's character, which was H, in the beginning of the movie, they show where him and High T go to fight, which we essentially is the Hive. We don't know that at the very beginning. And
no, I actually do think
they mention it? There was the Hive portal.
I know they said something about the Hive. But
yeah, maybe I think it was just like so. Well, the one thing that the trailers did, like, I got the impression that, and this is the way trailers are done, that this was a. The Hive infiltrated MIB and took over people, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's
like, we can't even trust our own agents. And, like, I don't think that line was even in the movie. And
then they cut to the scene where all the agents pull out their
gun.
Weapons and stuff,
essentially, there was these. Essentially, the plot is there's these two aliens. They're super CG. They kind of remind me of the two guys from The Matrix Reloaded, with the long hair, the dreadlocks. Right. They kind of remind me of that. And they essentially show up and they're looking for this weapon.
I did like the guy doing the dance. That was kind of a trippy dance.
Yeah, the dance was pretty cool. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. The effect they did with them was pretty cool. Essentially, they're the villain for the majority of the movie.
Or so you think.
Well, we don't know because since the file was deleted, but you think they're the villain, and they're part of the hive trying to get the weapon, and then essentially it comes around, they get destroyed, and they kind of, well, maybe they were trying to get the weapon to stop the hive, not for the hive, you know, just because the way they looked and then the way High T, which is the villain, he was turned into a hive and basically was pretending to be High T.
And he used the neuralizer on H.
Yep, that's why T kind of changed. He kind of like wasn't his same self because, you know, I guess when you flash these things, somebody they lose a little bit of themselves or something, you know. But
they believe what you tell them.
Right, and then Molly in the beginning of the movie, she's the little girl played by Tessa Thompson.
Is not the little girl, but that's...
Well, no, Tessa Thompson plays the adult version.
Valkyrie, in case you didn't know, she was also in Creed and Creed 2.
Yep.
Both great movies, by the way.
They're all got awesome movies. She essentially tracks down MIB because her parents were neuralized when she was a kid.
Because Jimmy came back to town.
Honestly, there's not a lot to talk about with this movie because it's pretty, like I said earlier, it's pretty straightforward Hollywood cliche stuff.
And that's not always bad.
It's not a bad movie. This is not Child's Play bad. Oh, I'm glad you guys didn't pick that one. I was kind of dreading when you added Child's Play. There's oh no, people are gonna pick Child's Play, aren't they? They know they're gonna pick.
I was actually looking forward to sit there and
laughing.
I don't know. The only thing about Child's Play, like I'm not a huge horror fan, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. But the thing that bugs me is not that Mark Hamill does the voice; it's just the way the Chucky doll looks. For some reason, it just
doesn't
looks
look right.
off.
Yeah.
But, but as far as the story for that movie goes for Child's Play, it actually makes sense in this day and age. Where
yeah, in a sense, but
well, how you got people who are always so into their smartphones.
So I guess right. So I guess my thought on this is: do you think this is going to start a new trilogy?
It could. I mean, it's not. From what I understand, it's not doing well. But again, it's Hollywood. They get to say, "Oh, this movie's shit." Well, guess what? We're going to do 2 more.
Right. I mean,
because this one here, if I understood it right, at one time there was going to be an MIB and 21 Jump Street crossover.
I don't get that.
Well, I don't know, but evidently, I think it's either Sony or someone else kind of took a look at it and says, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore," and that's where Men in Black International came from. It was that scrap story. It became international,
right?
So,
I mean, I like the idea of them okay, so let's not focus on New York. Let's go to the London. They could do it. The problem is they called it Men in Black International, so you can't really do another one and say Men in Black.
Well, we don't really know.
Asia
is the the London headquarters. Is that all for the European nations?
Yeah. I mean, because I know it was because there's a comic about Men in Black and everything that goes in way more details. But there's the New York branch, there's the London branch, there's a San Francisco branch, there's the Hong Kong branch. I think there's one in Tokyo. I think there's a Tokyo branch. Basically every single.
Are you sure you're not thinking of this Sanctum whatever?
No. There's because there's one in Hong Kong, there's one in New York, there's one in London, there's one in I think Moscow. I think it's in Moscow. So I think basically every major there's one in
every major
country? There's 1 or 2 in every major country, because there's 2 in the United States. There's San Francisco and the New York one, and then there's I think 2 in Asia, 2 or 3 in Asia, and there's 1 in Europe, 1 or 2 in Europe, I think, and then I think there's one in Australia too. There's an Australian branch too. The only thing I could think of going forward with this is they could go intergalactic, maybe there's a Men in Black. If aliens are coming here to visit, what's to say not to say that we're not going there to visit and it's just under wraps and stuff. You know, like only very like, or even just, there's a Men in Black post on an alien planet somewhere. You know, the only disappointing thing about this movie is that it ended weird. When I mean by ended weird, like the first one ended with like Orion, like, you know, like revealing that the world was inside an actual like locker. No, that was a sequel.
No,
the sequel was the locker. No, the first one was the locker.
No, it was the locket. It was
the locket.
Because the cat, the cat was Orion, and it had the
because
had the galaxy.
Right, and it showed like, you know, it went like all outside the Earth, and then it showed this alien picking up a marble and throwing a bag of other marbles. The second one was the, you know, the all hail J thing, and the locker. He's like, why you put those rats in my locker, man? There was that scene, but at the end he kicked the door open, and goes, "Steal just a rookie." And everything. And I don't remember what the third one was, but I know the third one did something too like that.
No, the third one was the guy who could see like the many different, I don't know, was it realities or futures?
Yeah, he could see multiple realities.
I'm not gonna lie, that dude could easily play Robin Williams, because that guy looked to me.
Dude, he's awesome. I love that guy. Actor's an amazing actor. I can't remember his name now. But anyways. But this one kind of disappointed me that they didn't do something like that.
He had like whatever the guy was looking for under his hat.
Yeah, right. That was my only thing. That was the only thing. Otherwise, this movie pretty much followed every single Men in Black trope that there is. That was the only thing that didn't follow. That the weapon thing I thought was kind of lame. Ooh, powerful weapon. You know, that could just. I mean, whatever. I mean, well, it was a simple plot. It was a simple plot. It was executed.
You need a MacGuffin. You need the aliens to come to the planet for something.
Right. I mean, it was a weak MacGuffin, I guess is what I'm saying.
So what are you going to do? Having it like, hey, we heard McDonald's is really good. We're going to come by.
Take your McDonald's, you know. Yeah. I don't know. The chemistry, here's the thing about the chemistry between those two. The chemistry was really good, but I think it's because they worked together so long for like Thor Ragnarok and then Endgame, you know. And I think they did another movie too, and they've done those movies like so closely, so they've literally been working together for like the last 5-6 years.
I don't know if those two were. Like I said, I know she's been in a few other. I said the Creed movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, like her working with Chris Hemsworth. I mean, there's another movie they did together that before Thor Ragnarok, which is why they had good chemistry in Thor Ragnarok. And then now they're in this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, when he's like, when he goes, well, like that line's like, we can't defend the Earth, well, sure, damn sure Avengers. It's just like, okay, Avengers.
Oh, and he picked up the hammer.
Oh, there's an Easter egg. Okay, for those of you who are Marvel fans, there is a scene where he picks up a little hammer. It's just like, oh, he's got his hammer now. He throws it at the alien catches like, wow, that's a pretty good catch. He's looking it up right now if they've been in any other movies. But they had good chemistry. I mean, usually in a movie like this, you have to have the two lead actresses have to have good chemistry. They had good chemistry. Lemoy did it. He did a good job as a villain. He plays a good villain. I mean, he plays a good villain. He plays a good hero too, but he's kind of like diverse in that. The character C.
It looks like they've only done Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Endgame, and
really, yeah. I mean, considering how much they're filming on those movies and how long it takes, you know, I mean. But yeah, I mean, it was like, you gave it what, a 6?
7.5.
7.5. I'm gonna give it a just solid 7. You know, like one pop, like on it, like we didn't get popcorn this time. So one popcorn tin. That's what we're gonna do.
We don't need any more.
We don't need any more popcorn tins. Spider-Man Far From tins. So it's like one popcorn can for this movie. You know.
Wait.
Oh, he's got it somewhere. Oh, no, it's way back there. All right, it's in the shot. It's in the shot. There it goes. You guys can see it in the background.
One Spider-Man pop cup up.
Yep. So, anyways, guys, this has been two fat guys going to the movies. Episode 2.
Episode 2 next week. Spider-Man.
We gotta bring our tissues.
No.
Well, I tell people, it's like, because remember, the first like 20 minutes of this movie at least is gonna be him dealing with Tony Stark.
Yeah, but you know, real fat men don't cry.
Real fat men don't cry. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.